Hello and welcome to Casual Leaves. Today we'll be talking about my newest addition, which is my Philodendron Paraiso Verde. This is a new plant which I received as a part of a contest, which I won. It was a giveaway, and it's from House of Mirac. And since the time it has come, I have just let it be. I was letting it adjust to my home environment. But today I will be potting it up. We will be checking the soil. We will be probably be adding a little stake or a support, maybe a moss pole. We'll see. And we'll be talking all about the plant, a care guide of sorts. Whatever I know of it, I'm going to talk about it. So let's get into it. But before that, if you're new here, welcome so much to my channel. I make all types of houseplant videos, and as I build my collection, I make videos about my journey with them. I also make some interesting unboxing and review videos, so do subscribe to the channel. And if you're returning here, thank you so much for coming one more time, and I'm so thankful that you joined in. Okay, so before I remove the plant from the pot and we check the status of it, I just want to cover a few things about the plant. So this is a Philodendron Paraiso Verde. It's a long leaf philodendron, as you can see. The leaves can go as long as from 5 inches to up to 15 inches. That's a standard size of the leaves. They typically have really long stems. These are kind of very unruly if the plant is left without any support system. More like a biliate, that kind of a behavior is exhibited by the plant. So if you really don't give it a support system, it's going to go all over the place. So a lot of people I have seen use either moss poles or just a regular wooden stake. I think I'm going to do that as well. I don't think I'm going to use a moss pole support system because for me it's a difficult thing to keep it moist in the kind of environment I have at my home. So I think I'm gonna go for a stake as well, but we'll see after we unpot it. Right now this is in a decently big size pot, around like a 5-inch pot, and the roots are coming all over. They're all outside. They're coming even from the bottom, and it's kind of in red soil. I feel right now it is in red soil, so I may just choose a potting medium which is with red soil in it, not maybe the typical standard aeroid soil mix, but again we'll see when we come to it. Another interesting thing about this plant is that it is temperature dependent. The variegations which the plant is so well known for, it actually comes from the temperature. So you have to make sure that you have the right spot for it. I have tried researching a lot in the last couple of days to know what works best, and like how do you get the best variegation, because the new leaf which has come in here, it's still developing, and I feel the variegation isn't going to be as good as these big leaves, but I could be wrong. It's still very small, and on the camera, while it shows some variegation, in real I barely can see it. So yeah, my learning was that this is a temperature dependent variegation. It likes to be in slightly warmer places with no wind draft, and that's a problem for me because there's a lot of wind draft where I keep it, and I've been keeping it next to that window sill there, and it gets cold in the evenings this time of the year. So I think it's in a coldish temperature than what it would like to be in. So after repotting today, we may even find a new spot for it. So yeah, one of the most important things is temperature. It does love humidity. It likes to be in a warm, moist kind of a place. So those are two important things in order to maintain the happiness levels of this plant. The other thing is, of course, the watering, which is the same as any other philodendron. So you just need to wait for the top 2 inches of the soil to dry up, and that's when you water it thoroughly. Let the water drain out. I prefer taking my plants to the sink in the kitchen or the bathroom, water it over there, add a very mild diluted NPK fertilizer, a bit of trichoderma powder, and a bit of Epsom salt. Those are the three things I add in most of my waterings. And yeah, I think that's all to begin with. Rest of the conversation we can do while we unpot this and put it in a new pot. There is one other thing I want to talk about this plant, which is a very interesting thing, which is the sweet sap or the nectar which the plant produces on its stems or the new leaves. If you can see here, there are a lot of these watery dots which are nothing but the nectar, and in fact they even leave markings like so on the stem, which is where the nectar was. So you see these kind of spots on most of the stems. They're nothing to worry about. It's just a defense mechanism of the plant to invite ants, which can then help eat away the pests. So that is a very, very interesting thing I found about this plant. So that's quite an interesting one. I haven't seen that in other philodendrons. I think Micans does that too. I have seen the sap nectar on it as well. And just a quick close up of the leaves. They're really, really beautiful. Honestly, if you can master the variegation of this plant, it's a lovely, lovely collection plant that you can have. A very beautiful plant. So I think it's over time you can know what works best for it. Okay, so I will be using this self-watering pot. I just want to show the difference between the pot sizes. This is a big one, then this for sure, but the length and the size of this plant is right enough for this one. And also self-watering pots have a little area at the bottom where the water reservoir is. So you're essentially getting a lesser place for the plant, so that works fine. From where I bought this self-watering pot, the person suggested I add a few leca balls at the bottom of the container so as to not block the drainage holes, which I think is a very good idea for self-watering planters. So we're going to be doing that. And yeah, I'm just going to check the roots first, which is the next step now. I had watered this plant 2-3 days back. Oh my god, okay. Very nice roots. I think it's in very good quality right now. I think the soil is fine. I don't know what the white things are in this. I have no idea. But anyway, we're gonna replace the soil, so it's okay. Just gonna loosen the root ball. I think the plant is loving this soil. So I have something similar. It's a sort of a aroid soil but with red soil in it. And I think I will continue to use that because it seems to be doing well with that type of soil right now. I really don't know what these white things are. I'm guessing it's some sort of a thing added to the plant to root better or something. But anyway, we are going to move into this one. Let me arrange my soil first. It's a bit of a top view here, but I want you to see exactly what goes on inside the self-watering pot. And this here is my soil. So this is the soil I am using. It's actually, like I said, a kind of a red soil. It's actually a succulent mix mixed with some regular soil. If you can see, a little difficult for me to shoot here, but that's how it is. I'm just gonna add the leca balls first. So that goes in the bottom. And the stick I want to use as actually this stick which I have got from the garden downstairs where I live. So that's where I have taken this from, and I think I'm gonna attach this as part of the plant. Just gonna test things once. Perfect. So this is how it's gonna be. I have two shooters, one is on the other side, one is on this side. That's how we're planning it. I'm just gonna start adding the soil. Oops, this thing is fallen. So that's how the whole of the plant is looking. I think it was an amazing decision to buy this specific pot planter, and it's looking really great. I have opted for the regular kind of a soil, red soil with aeroid mix, and it's not really chunky, but I think it's gonna like it. And overall, it looks good. It looks very nice. The white pot is looking really aesthetic, and the stem which I've got, which is from the garden down there, actually, it's a natural stick from a tree, like a fallen branch. So I'm really happy with that. Looks very, very pretty, very beautiful. This is the new leaf, the latest one which unfurled here in my house. I didn't tie this right now onto the stake because I want to let it have its own space. And this was the other offshoot, the new leaf which will come. I've let its aerial root be a bit uh, into the soil if it needs to take any nutrients from there. So looking good. I'm gonna take it next to the sink and spray it with neem oil, do the typical caretaking things, water it, and we will be done. So here we are, the final product one more time. Just wanted to add a little note on the lighting requirements of this plant. It loves the east side morning light. Some people say it's okay if a little bit of a light hits it very early morning. It likes that for its variegation, but not for too long, or it's better if it's a filtered light. So if you have a curtain in your east facing windows, that's the perfect kind of light it likes. Or some have written a south facing window, but a bit far away from the windows is what it would like. I am going to be experimenting with what spot I keep the plant in, how far away from the window, which window it's going to be in, and where do I keep it. And I will share the results of it. Temperature right now is an issue, so I'm going to also keep that in mind while finding a spot. And to be honest, initially when I didn't have this plant, I was not really keen on getting it. Like, it was okay if I had it or I didn't have it. But now that I have it, one of these long form, the, strappy, not strappy, but pendant long kind of leaves, I really do love it. I really recommend you to add this to your collection. A very beautiful look. The variegations are from cream, white, yellow to mint green, which are very unique for philodendrons and are also trending this year. So very happy. I'm loving the aesthetic look with this real stake, the plant, the self-watering plant. All of it has come together very well. And finally, I have a big plant in my collection. I mean, typically all my other plants are there, but they're slightly juvenile. This one seems to be a bit more matured. So very, very happy. And that was it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me right till the end. If you watched it till here, please do like the video, do hit the notification bell. It will help me make more videos. And I hope you continue to watch my next video, which should be on screen by now. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.